Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming, a family-friendly tabletop RPG podcast. Let's meet our players.
Hello, I'm Daniel.
Hi, I'm Grant.
Hi, I'm Peter.
Hi, I'm Greg.
Hey, I'm Shaneen.
Hi, I'm Andrea.
What's up? I'm Ben.
We hope you enjoy our show. Welcome back to City on a Hill Gaming. I am your narrator, Ryan, and it is time. It is time for Season 4, and by Season 4, I mean the prologue to Season 4, in which all of our characters are not yet quite level 1, but they will be by the time we're finished.
Consider this a prologue to a cheer.
Yes. And it takes place 3 years in the past, and I will let, as I introduce each member of the party, tell me who your character is, and at least for now, what their class and such are. Some of those will probably change by the time you get to level 3, as some of you are multi-classing. We'll start with Greg. Greg, say hello to the nice people.
Hello, and I am playing Brother Brock, the Gnome Adept, which is the advanced 5e level up version of Monk.
Correct. Shaneen, introduce the fine people to your character.
I will be playing Locke, a plain-touched sorcerer.
Correct. Grant.
Right, I'm playing Tox. The letter Tox art talks to his friends, their friends. They are a crystal dragonborn with a psychic breath weapon and limited spellcasting ability. Eventually, they'll grow up to be a wizard, unless something terrible happens here in the next 2 hours. And yeah, that's them. They, them pronouns right now, because they haven't picked a gender yet.
Noted. Daniel, tell me of Jock.
I'm Daniel. I'm going to be playing Jock. He is right now just a musician and also a dwarf, and we'll see what happens after this.
Reasonable.
Also, there's some sort of axe involved.
Maybe more than one kind of axe at the same time. You never know what will happen. Andrea.
I'm playing Tansy. She's a druid and an elf, and very, very, very into plants.
There you go. And you drew your character picture yourself, which is cool. Peter.
I'm playing Montague. He is a Tabaxi Herald, which is the level up version of a paladin. And he is a ball of floof.
Much floof, many wows.
So, okay, this is all you will need to understand what Montague looks like. Go look up a picture, or better yet, a video of a Pallas cat. Pallas.
Kitty.
That, but humanoid. Yes.
Giant floofy kitty.
Human floof.
And Ben.
I'm Ben. I am playing Cork the Orc, a cleric who has taken a vow of pacifism, which should be amazing fun in D&D. Not a lot of punchy from me this time.
Which is weird for you, because normally there's a lot of punchy.
It really is.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Brock is all punchy.
There's a lot of punching. We shall see what happens. And like some of them have mentioned, these characters will change slightly. By the time session 1 starts of the regular game, they will be level 3 and may have chosen different paths for themselves. We will see what happens. Also, apologies to the listeners if you hear a lot of loud booms in the background. I believe Ben and I still possibly have a severe thunderstorm watch and/or warning, potentially, for our local listening area.
Also, while we're apologizing to the listeners, yes, I changed my character's heritage from the session 0, so don't be confused. I did change my mind. So,
And while we're issuing apologies, I refuse to apologize. I have nothing to apologize for. Thank you for your time.
Strong. Okay, good.
I'll apologize for Daniel.
But not for himself. Just for Daniel. Good.
I know what I did.
I also apologize for Daniel.
Oh. We're never not us, and I love it. Okay. So, what is even happening? You'll have to see it. Okay. And for the audience, if you have possibly missed the stuff leading up to Season 4, Season 4 is still us. It is still our normal nonsense, but it is not technically Dungeons & Dragons. We are using the Level Up Advanced 5th Edition role-playing system, brought to you by the fine folks at EN Publishing. And by the fine folks at EN Publishing, I mean the fine folks at EN Publishing and also Peter, because Peter is part of the design team. So, yay. And thank you to them for giving us access to the PDFs for everybody in the game so that character creation and stuff. And so that Ryan has a giant book of monsters to use. I mean,
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Thanks.
Just wait until you start
Variety.
comparing how much better those are than the Monster Manual varieties,
Mhm.
too.
And they won't all be merfolk, so every episode's not fish puns this season. Hopefully. Hopefully.
You can be optimistic.
Seems
We'll
like you're
see about
swimming
that.
against the current on
Hey.
that one there.
Yeah, scales have turned against you
Check.
on that one already.
And we've met our quota. Not that stops them. Okay. Good.
Hey, we're
Great.
off the hook now, okay?
Oh, dagnabbit. Strong. You love to see it. My apologies to Cameron from One Geek 411. I know how you feel. I can't do anything to stop them. That's not true. I could. I choose not to. And I'm sorry. Hey, I've apologized for something now. Perfect. Now we're through all of those. Okay. So the 7 of you have been chosen from across the plane, and you are part of a program that trains adventurers for their last coming month or month and a half before they adventure out and join an adventurers guild and begin their life's work of something about Dungeons and Dragons. I don't really know. Whatever your chosen path is, it's up to you. I got 2 of them. Boom. Love to see it. Okay. So people, whether it be different countries or governments, monasteries, schools, navies, the pouring rain has started, send people from amongst them who are on the verge of becoming an adventurer to complete their training at the Imperial Training College in the city of Thrall. So you've been sent to the Imperial Training College, and it's a 6-week program, and you have been assigned to an advisor, and his name is Captain Grell. And basically, you've been here for about a week, and every day you get up, and he takes you out into the area around the city, and you do some kind of training to prepare yourself to become a proper, good old-fashioned tabletop RPG adventurer. And sort of part of that experience, you work on your different skills, whether you excel in nature or in the city, whether you are real good at talking to people or real good at jumping real high and running real fast. You work on all those things. You work on accuracy with your magic. You work on your meditation and your zen for those it pertains to. You work on your investigation skills. You solve puzzles. It's like one of those kids' TV shows from the 90s for Nickelodeon, but you're all adults. But there's still slime for some reason. Don't overthink that part. Who doesn't love slime?
All right, can't wait. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
The long-haired cat person raises his hand about who doesn't like
That's
slime.
fair. That's fair.
I would
Legends
pull
of,
out my slime, but it expired.
Legends of the Hidden Temple 2, brought to you by Wizards of the Coast. So
I'd watch that.
I would watch the crap out of that. That'd be fantastic. Hosted by Matt Mercer, presumably. All right. Someone write that down. Hold on. I think we're on to something. Okay.
Your
So
t-shirt?
I was just going to pitch it to someone at, I don't know, Discovery or something. But whichever. Whichever of those things seems more us. So t-shirt, probably. So I'm going to move you guys to the page. So you're basically in a giant walled-in... I don't want to say fortress, because it's essentially just a giant, like... Okay, I'm going to... Who's seen Mulan? It's like the camp from Mulan.
Probably all of us.
It's just lots of tents, and some of them are bigger than others. And there's a pole you climb, and presumably they teach you to fish with your bare hands, amongst other skills. Yeah, that's a skill. It's the skill I always wanted to learn and always thought I'd be good at, but I can almost guarantee you wouldn't go remotely the way I want it to.
I think Monty has an advantage at that one.
I feel like Monty does have an advantage in that one.
Yeah, that's also... It's also a great way to bust your knuckles on a rock, so maybe don't do that.
Yeah, noodling is maybe not the best thing to go do.
No.
Good way to lose a fingertip.
Oh, I've watched the noodling shows. Those do look painful. Yeah, that's fair. So you guys have been here for about a week, and as you kind of go on, you know you're working towards what's called the final test. And the final test takes place in the final week of camp, and you will be sent out to a local area to deal with a small problem that we promise was not manufactured for the benefit of your training. This was totally a real issue all along. So you spend the next several weeks practicing and honing your skills and using your magics and getting to know each other. You're put into small groups of, we'll say, approximately 7 for some unknown reason. And that is your group for the time you are here at camp. So I tell you what, why don't you guys, because you guys have been working together for about, we'll say 2.5 or 3 weeks at this point, why don't you guys, we'll pretend you guys are still getting to know each other, and I don't know why in my head for some reason it's lunch and you're in a cafeteria. I don't know where I'm going with this.
You can't sit with us.
Dang it. That's exactly what would happen. Grell looks slightly disappointed and takes his tray 2 tables over to where the rest of the teachers sit. And I've derailed myself. Strong. Okay, so pulling it back. So you guys, like I said, you guys have been here for a couple weeks. You've kind of become part of this group. I tell you what, you have to have a team name. So what is your team name? Preferably with a color associated with it for the purpose of t-shirts.
Red 5.
There's 7 of you.
I was going to say the Fluffer Nuggets because of Montague.
Okay. The Fluffy 7.
Montague looks at you with an expression about halfway between confusion and hurt.
Honestly, I have to voice an objection. This mammalian obsession with your fur seems excessive and frankly a little personal.
I'm not obsessed with it. It just grows on me.
Can get you a coat.
Oh.
All right, but seriously, guys, like we need like a band name because like names for bands is really important. Like if you don't have that like wow factor, it's not really gonna work. So
people aren't gonna come to your gigs.
That's right. So we need to be like the
mediocre 7.
Well, it has to have a color, so we could
should
be
use
like the purple mediocre.
We should use green because green is the color of most plants, and plants are the best thing ever.
Okay.
The green purple.
The green purple.
What about the
It's great.
7 virtues?
You still need a color.
Says the paladin in training.
Yeah.
Whoa, wait. We can work with this.
I've met Brock.
What about the 7 virtues?
Color reference
Ew.
instead of an actual
We'll just
color.
use green.
Okay, strong.
I'm not sure calling ourselves green is necessarily going to impress anyone in training us.
And we'll use-
just
we'll
make it
use the
sound
color
envious.
What if it's a dark green, like a forest green?
It will still make us sound envious.
The Sage 7.
Whoa.
Okay, I don't
Ooh.
mind that actually.
All right,
7
yeah.
sages.
That makes
Yeah.
us sound smart.
That's good. We can work with that. Far out, man.
Are we going to have anything to do with time, like possibly a time jump in that sense?
Ooh.
Don't know why you would ask that question. Or why it would be more or less
Oh.
3 years in the future.
Yeah.
Not 7?
No, not 7. Definitely not 7. You guys would
Not,
be too high
not
level for
7,
anything.
no, but
If it
but
was
yeah,
7
I
years, one of
see
you
it.
have fireball.
We can have like some sage and some thyme, maybe some parsley, we could be the Spice Girls.
Can we go to Scarborough
Whoa!
Fair?
I'm not a girl.
We could, I don't know how we ended up with that's the title now. Hold on, let me write this down.
I love that we've fully derailed the first minute.
This is my fault. I brought it
In
up.
fairness, Ryan's first thing out of the gate was, "Hey guys, name something.
Yep.
Do the hardest thing in D&D."
And the only thing we were given was a color, which we were constantly not done.
Episode title. Good.
Approved.
We could be the Spice Girls. Done. Got it. Okay.
Although seriously though, I do like the Sage 7 because that's
No, that actually seems sweet.
yeah.
Sage 7.
Let's go with that.
Sagacious 7.
You're gonna have to spell it, but sure.
It's spelled in the traditional manner, man.
Sagacious. Sagacious. Is it sagacious or sagacious? I always said sagacious.
Yeah,
sagacious, but
I've heard it both ways.
There
I've
you
only
go.
ever heard sagacious.
okay, good. I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
completely,
real
not
life
completely
Daniel.
incompetent.
Yeah,
That's
real life Daniel has only heard sagacious. Jock, however,
There's the spelling for you.
I was gonna say, real life Ryan heard this word about sagay. Oh, okay, good. Real life Ryan heard this word for the first time just now, so that's good. Discernment and good judgment. Sure, that seems fine. Okay.
and also like sage is a color, so it's like a pun.
It does get the
And it's
the
green.
in.
Yeah.
He looks a little concerned about the number of letters you're using versus how long and how expensive the printing is of shirts, but it's probably fine.
This has the additional advantage of letting us make any number of Magnificent Seven jokes. So
Right. No. I assume that's where this started.
Yeah.
That seems fine.
Yeah, the mediocre 7. That was my thought.
Yeah. There are 7 of you. It's inevitable. Okay. So the next day you are presented with a banner in a lovely sage green.
It's a bit longer than usual.
Yes. That has your group's name at the top of it, and someone can tell me what the logo looks like. Don't spend too much time on that right now, or we'll go down a terrible path.
it's green.
Probably a sage leaf with the number 7 in the middle.
Yep, let's go with that.
Not mad at it. Seems fine with me.
It's a leaf.
It's straightforward, real easy. You can put it screen printed on a shirt. Man, we're gonna have some really great merch.
Yep. And they even make you is the word I want tabard?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Sure.
make you all tabards. So you each have a team shirt.
Jersey.
Yes, you each have jerseys. Okay. The 5 other teams in camp also get their jerseys that day. yours decidedly is the most impressive sounding. And at least 3 other teams all chose purple. And now they're very angry with each other. Because that's our color, man. How dare you?
I don't know, but I'm kind of pulling for the purple moles. Although, you should probably get that checked out.
Oh, that seems unfortunate. Okay. So as the weeks pass, you continue your training. You compete in Olympic-style games based on team color. The purple team's larger than everyone else because there's 21 of them now for some reason, because they all pick the same color. But you guys still somehow beat them. They come in 4th, collectively. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's fine.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of them, but there's no coordination. Like,
No.
they can't tell who's who. And
Can we just take a moment and be impressed at how hard Ryan has managed to yes and himself?
I mean, that's essentially all that ever happens on this show, so it's fine. And I'm keeping notes because we're going to use those team names and colors later. Purple moles. All right, sure, that's fine.
That's just malignant, man.
Let's hope so. No, you want it to be benign. Never mind.
That's why it keeps growing. That's why
Yeah, I
there's
know.
21
That's where
of
the
them.
joke comes from.
Oh, the team gets bigger. Right, good. All right, we're going to move on. So the time has come. Tomorrow you will leave and venture forth on your personal final expedition. And Captain Grell calls you all together. Well, all right. Which team is this? Right.
We're the not purple ones, man.
Good choice. Strong choice. Not purple. Turned out pretty well for you. Good. Okay, so you'll leave tomorrow. You'll be gone for 3 or 4 days. And you're going to venture to the west. There's a tower. It's been there for a couple 100 years. Been abandoned for, 40 or 50 probably. There's a lot of little, what you call it, mechanical creatures running around all over the place. And starting to scare the locals. Chase off the cattle and such. So, you're going to head over and, break them or something. Deactivate them. Make them stop. You'll know it. There's a big owl, like, carved into the front of it. Looks real angry. So, yeah. And when you come back, if you come back, you'll be done. And you'll be all part of the guild for whichever charter you choose. You can pick. And go off on your merry way and be adventurers. Or whatever. Your choice.
Okay.
So yeah. You leave at dawn tomorrow. Make sure you pack plenty of supplies. There's going to be a cart up by the front gate when you leave. Make sure you bring it back. It's a rental. Okay. So, final night before you leave, what would you like to do?
So I like before we leave, I imagine it's a bunch of students and stuff are all like up and they're all like nervous and whatnot, and so Jock he's just gonna sit down for a second and he's just gonna be like, hey guys, I know that we're all gonna be like real nervous and get a chance to explore and stuff, but we just need to like take this time and relax, and we don't just sit here and we'll just calm down. Anyone got anything they want to share? And yeah, we're just gonna have like a real jam session. Also,
Talks immediately requests a series of increasingly obscure no music genres.
Okay, all right. How many of those is Jock familiar with?
I don't know. Does Jock know Moonpunk?
No, but if you hum a few bars,
Stumpunk?
Stum Pop. I
Shroom
knew
and base?
someone named Stum Pop. Oh, I've had one of those once.
Leper crust? No?
Ooh, never lever crust.
And it's usually about this point that he's just gonna like smile and nod and just kind of fake his way through it and just be like, "Yeah, sure, I know this." And he's gonna start playing, but it's all Wonderwall. Like every time, it's just Wonderwall.
That was my request. You're good.
That tracks.
Is it at least
Cork takes.
Is it at least Boulevard of Broken Dreams Wonderwall, or is it just Wonderwall?
Well,
Only Oasis?
One time. Well, one time it's actually You Spin Me Right Round, but he sings Wonderwall. He just plays that music instead. I would try to do more, but I actually haven't tuned my banjo ukulele, so I'm not going to subject people to that.
I'm trying to hear that in my head, and I don't know how I feel about it.
I'll send you a video.
Thank you.
Thank you.
While Jock is doing his little concert, Cork takes a coin and affixes it to the end of his quarterstaff, makes a little cone around it, casts light, and holds it up like a spotlight, and just repeatedly casts light in different colors so that it just keeps changing.
Sure.
All aiming at Jock so that he has a little spotlight.
Not to scale.
Several people
Alright.
film you with their phones. I mean, like, it's fine. It's gonna be huge on TikTok. It's gonna be great. Okay, so time to go forth and explore the giant tower with the owl on the outside of it, full of tiny, angry, mechanized creatures that I'm sure won't be a problem. Anything you want to do before you leave? You will be gone for 4 or 5 days, approximately.
Nah.
Nah.
Nah, I'm just gonna, make sure that we're all packed up and that, the roadies did a good job of packing up all our gear in the cart, and then we'll get ready to roll out.
Okay, good. And I assume
By
someone...
roadies, you mean us?
I was gonna say, is that just like, is Brock
Yeah.
the roadies? Is that what's happening here? Okay.
The little weak dome carrying everything.
Yes. I assume someone fixes your banner to the place in the cart for affixing your banner, because it comes prepared with a place for your banner, so that you can show off your team colors and logo as you leave, and presumably return victorious or triumphant or something.
Like, when it comes to that stuff, Jock knows immediately what to do. He's like, "Oh yeah, man, this is promo material. We're just gonna put this up here, here, woof," and then it just like fans out and looks great.
It's sort of like a pirate ship in my head. Like the banner inflates and pushes you forward.
Let's go with that. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna just not ask because I made your characters and I know none of you have animal handling or vehicle driving in your current forms. So we'll just assume the horses know the way, approximately, to the tower, and you arrive safely approximately a mile away from a large gray stone, what sort of reminds you of a mage's tower. It's a couple stories tall. There is most certainly the face of a mechanical owl, sort of semi-carved and also semi-mechanized on the front of it, and you're pretty sure the eyes move and are occasionally, and by occasionally I mean always, looking at you, no matter where you stand.
That's rather unsettling.
Even if you stand behind the tower, it's still looking at you.
Here, a couple of you go over to that side. A couple of us will go over to this side. And then, once it's cross-eyed, run the other way.
Okay, good. So it gets confused. Perfect. They've confused the
Why are
tower.
we doing this?
To confuse the tower. It's the first step in defeating and clearing the tower. Is to confuse the tower.
Yeah, that's my theory.
Montague looks a little less certain about this.
No,
but
this is part of your
doesn't
training.
object.
This is fine.
Yeah, Montague's only known us for 3 days. Be prepared, Montague.
Montague
Be
like
prepared.
pulls out a notebook and starts flipping through like, I don't remember tower confusion in one of my classes.
No.
I remember them talking about towers, and I was confused.
Close enough. Potato.
Oh dear.
Potatoes.
Again,
How
that's
do you
my
prefer
fault.
them? Boiled, mashed, or put in a stew?
Mashed.
Any way I can get him, man.
Yeah, probably in a stew.
Also acceptable. Okay. Hopefully, my map darkness works this time, and by map darkness works this time, I mean I don't black out the entire thing in an irreversible mistake. You missed an interesting time last time, Daniel.
Sounds like it.
I kind of broke the whole map.
Are we supposed to see inside the tower now?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Disregard the huge white hole in the map. I don't know where the floor that was under it went. There is floor there. Something went wrong when I copy and pasted something. And I didn't notice.
Are
till
those nunchuck
recently.
wielding Roombas?
That's why I wanted to know if we were supposed to see that.
They weren't, but they are now. No, what you see, so as you approach the tower, it seems very unnecessarily mechanical. There's like a drawbridge that opens and closes on its own, seemingly. Like when you get close enough, it lowers so that you can walk inside. And it remains open until all of you have entered.
Is this kind of going to be like the Walmart of towers that sometimes it will just close on you right before you get there so you smack into it?
There's no greeter at the front, but yes, otherwise more or less the same.
Did you say that was like a drawbridge?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just waiting for one of us to get to the edge, and then it just flips up and just yeets us.
And we go all Skyrim physics, and you fly 300 or 400 feet in the air and then flop down ragdoll style. Good. Strong. As you enter,
Just hear the Wilhelm scream. Ah!
you have to have one in every movie. It's a requirement. As you enter, everyone make me perception checks. As you are all not quite level 1 characters, for the audience, they do have some number of skills and or abilities, but not even as many as you would have traditionally at level 1, to sort of make them more like they're not quite done with their training, is sort of the purpose of trying it out this way. So we will see what happens when they
17.
each make perception checks. Some of them do have higher
8.
abilities with perception than others. Well, Peter rolled a 17, so we're going to
Yeah.
go...
I accidentally rolled twice, but just keep the first.
Sure. Okay. We'll go with Peter and Andrea. You notice... everyone more or less notices that the first floor of this tower appears to be a room full of broken mechanical things. So the Roombas with nunchucks, as Peter so kindly gave me ideas for the future.
Noonbus.
Nimbus. Nimbus?
No, that's a cloud.
No, that's Nimbus. Wait, isn't it?
Potato, potato.
Or is it a
Nimbus
room jump?
is from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
Okay, cool.
Or it could be a room
Well,
jump.
Dragon Ball.
And a cumulonimbus is a cloud.
Cool, perfect.
All right, let's get serious.
Perfect.
Mhm.
So what you see are basically piles of broken mechanical creatures. Some look like spiders, some look like birds, some look like foxes. Yes, there is also a spider on the table. But none of them appear to be in working order. They all just look like a pile of broken parts. Peter, you notice, more specifically, that not only do they appear to be broken, they appear to have been broken for a while. And they appear to, in some cases, have been smashed. The room is
This
also full
seems
of
like-
bookshelves. Go ahead, Peter.
It's like, this seems like something has gone wrong with our training. Weren't we supposed to do the smashing on this?
Well,
they're
maybe
pre-smashed.
we
I'm very
win.
confused.
We can go home now. Victory is ours.
They didn't want to win by cheating.
So, as you guys are looking around, you hear a skittering noise from behind one of the bookshelves. And a
Oh,
small,
good. Maybe there's something after all.
a small mechanical silver fox runs out. And just kind of looks
Oh.
around and sniffs around in the air. Who has nature or survival? Specifically, if you are trained in nature or survival.
I have survived. I have both of those, actually.
Okay.
I have survival.
So roll
Oh, I have survival.
either of them if you are trained in them.
Brian, just want to quick point out, I actually don't have anything in my skill tree.
That's on purpose.
Okay, making sure.
No, it's not at all.
Are we using the wisdom is like coming up as the default? Is that
Yes, that's fine.
right? Okay.
Okay. So good. You guys all notice, those of you who rolled, that this behaves impressively like an actual fox. Just of creatures you've seen in the wild, you would expect something mechanical to not behave quite so fluidly and smoothly. This behaves functionally like it is a fox that just happens to be made of metal. And it appears to be searching for something. It kind of wanders around the room, sniffs under the table, and is still looking around for something.
Montague like wanders over to this thing and like crouches down next to it and was like, "What are you looking for?"
It appears to be hunting. And it suddenly jumps past you, Peter, and onto the table.
No.
And then jumps over here next to one of the broken spiders and pounces on a small mechanical mouse. And picks it up in its mouth and then wanders off back behind the bookshelf. And it pauses right before it gets to the edge and back behind the bookshelf. And you notice that it very specifically turns and looks at each of you. Like it's kind of taking the group of you in collectively.
Jock waves.
Montague just waves politely at it.
It disappears back behind the bookshelf.
Cork would like to go look around for like one of the little birds that you had that was laying around. You said there's like a little mechanical bird.
Yeah.
Like find the bird and sit there for a second, kneeling next to it, and cast mending.
Okay.
To see if that does anything.
So you find one of them over here, over near the bookshelves on the far left side of the room. It does appear to mechanically fix it. It does not move or reanimate. You have physically fixed this. It looks quite impressive. It's quite intricate. It does not seem to function in any way, shape, or form. It looks almost like something's missing. Something that would ideally... Power's the wrong word, but...
Animate?
Sure. We'll go with that. That seems fine. Does not appear to be functioning correctly, despite your repairs. Do you want to keep it?
Yes.
Okay. Batteries not included. No. Very good. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very, very good.
No,
correct.
It just looks like it probably needs some WD-4.
WD-4. Interesting.
It's to loosen up the joints.
Right.
It's gotta... And then it doesn't squeak anymore.
Is everyone inside now?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll come inside.
You
Poke around
begin
at
to
one of the other
hear
broken things.
a lot more skittering. Smaller skittering. And more... wait, who had the highest perception earlier? Was that Peter? Yeah. Peter, it's a lot more things skittering, and they have a lot more legs, whatever they are. There's a lot more clicking on the ground. So, in the corner, out pop a handful of small mechanical scorpions.
Oh, those don't look friendly.
One of them attempts to shoot poison from its tail at you and misses. Everyone roll initiative. Right now you only see 4 of them. Cork, Mr. Orc, 'tis your turn, sir.
Cork is going to come back to join the group a little bit. Speed is 30. I'm assuming these are all 5 foots.
Yes.
Doesn't like being out there on his own. Cork's going to come back to the group.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all he's got.
Okay. Went away. There we go. Jock.
All right. Jock's speed is a stately 25, so Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it.
Okay. Andrea.
I don't really know what I can do. So
From that, I'm trying to think. Let's look at your.
I don't have anything listed, like any spells or anything. So
Well, you have cantrips, but there are only 2 of them.
okay, I see.
So you have Druidcraft, there we go, and you have Shillelagh.
Right. Okay.
You could use Shillelagh preemptively before they get there so that you can hit them when they do.
Sure, I'll do that.
Brock.
I shall use my lovely gnomish speed and actually get farther ahead than everybody else.
I was going to say, some of you guys are surprisingly quick.
Yeah. Thank you, Adept. I got extra speed, so even though I am a little tiny gnome, I still fast.
Peter, Montague's turn.
I will
Okay,
move
then.
up and stay where I am at.
Okay. There's a lot of space there. Shaneen.
All right. I will move up just a smidge, just in case for later. And I will magic missile
Okay.
the 3 closest ones, I guess.
They each get 1 missile. How much damage does each missile do, ma'am?
3, apparently.
It is. Yeah.
When suddenly there are only now 1 scorpion. They seem to kind of crumble into pieces, and they were glowing a little originally. They are no longer glowing. Grant. Tox's turn.
How much, roughly speaking, would you say that these weigh?
2 or 3 pounds each.
Oh, sweet. I'm going to cast Mage Hand and pick one up by the tail and just sort of hold it in the air where it can't bother us.
That was my fault. Fair enough. What's the threshold for Mage Hand for the future?
10 pounds.
Right, they weigh 15 pounds each now. Good. Okay. Touche.
They're made out of lead and depleted uranium.
Yes. They're unnecessarily heavy for whatever reason. I can't imagine.
Oh, the uranium, that's why they're glowing.
Yes, that's how they're powered. Uranium.
Who has our Geiger counter?
If they have
powered,
nuclear
Well,
powered
you know,
scorpions.
it's like a
the
long
poison is
distance
nothing.
satellite.
It's the radiation sickness that'll get you.
No, it's like a Voyager mission or something, right? It's low power, but they function well outside of the range of other power sources like the sun. So, it makes sense.
Scorpion power.
I've been playing a lot of Kerbal Space Program, don't I?
There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good game. 4 more of them appear from around the corner. It's Cork's turn. Ryan realized they only have a 10-foot movement speed. That seems disadvantageous for the future. So whoops.
Seeing Montague run up, Cork is going to flank a bit. 20, 25, 30.
Okay. Jock.
All right. I suppose Jock is gonna do the same thing he did last time and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces and pass his turn.
Okay. Andrea, do you wish to close in on these immensely slow scorpions?
Sure. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Brock.
I can close all the way in
You
and
can.
still be able to punch one. So I will
Punch away,
punch
sir.
the one I am next to. And I shall go smackety smack.
17 definitely hits. It flies backwards, narrowly zooms underneath the one Grant is levitating, and smashes into the wall. Peter. Montague.
I'm gonna just walk up and longsword one of them here.
All right, roll away.
24.
I think that might be a
Critted.
natural 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
8 damage.
you cut it clean in half. Make me an investigation check.
17.
As you cut it and clean in half, you cut it so cleanly that you manage to see for just a brief second it kind of flickers internally before it sort of shuts down. And you think there is definitely some kind of external power source. And it slowly loses it slowly loses some kind of connection. Shaneen.
Right. I will cast Ray of Frost.
Okay. Do I roll or do you?
I do.
You do. Okay.
Just for damage, I believe.
Okay. Roll away, ma'am. Okay. It gets real cold and then it shatters. Grant. 'Tis Tox's turn.
It sure is. Tox is going to, having moved forward a little bit here, just to not, completely violate rules of Mage Hand. Tox is going to find a open container, drop the scorpion in it, like a box or something, and then quickly flip it over.
Okay. So have you released Mage Hand?
No, I'm still manipulating objects here.
Okay.
What I probably will do is, and this is, I'm playing around with how much you may or may not necessarily want to let me do in one turn, but basically, I'm trying to deal with one of these just kind of out of curiosity without completely destroying it, and drop it in something, a box, a barrel, any sort of container that's
convenient bucket.
Yeah, and then just sort of quickly, either use Mage Hand to flip it over or just kick it over and keep it trapped. The same thing you do with a large but obviously non-dangerous spider in the house.
Okay. The entire time you're sort of levitating and moving it around, its legs are scampering like it's trying to run away.
Sweet.
There is one left. It will step forward and try and sting Brother Brock. I'm just going to assume the 4 misses.
Just barely. It just barely missed.
Good. That makes sense. Cork, would you like to do anything to the one remaining scorpion?
No. Cork is actually going to come up, seeing how fragile they are, not worried about them. Cork is going to come up next to the one that Brock is dealing with, and gather up the pieces of one of the magic missile ones.
Okay.
And cast Mending.
Okay. It comes back together, and after a couple of seconds, comes back to life.
Gonna hold it by the tail.
Yes. And it continues skittering around. So you're out of combat. The fox walks back around the corner and kind of sniffs around and looks around. And it walks over towards you, Ben, and sort of paws at the one you're holding by the tail. And it's looking at you and it's looking at the rest of you very intently. And it sniffs at it, walks over, pokes at the little box Grant has the other one in, and then it hops on top of the bookshelf, scampers across to the other side, and hops onto the staircase that goes to the second floor. Thanks for listening to City on a Hill Gaming. For more information, you can find us on Twitter at City on a Hill Game, on Instagram at City on a Hill Gaming, on Twitch at twitch.tv/City on a Hill Gaming, or wherever you listen to podcasts by searching for City on a Hill Gaming. If you want to hear more from the Saving the Game folks, you can find their backlog of episodes at stgcast.org. Thanks as always to our Patreon backers, Stephanie, Ryan, Brian, Doug, JD, Andrew, Christina, Ashley, Joanne, and Tony. We really appreciate everything you guys do to support the show. Thanks for listening, and have a blessed day. Sound check, sir.
Level Up Advanced 5th Edition Adventurer's Guide. Designers Akeem Favor, Amber Underwood, Andrew Englebright, Anthony Alipo, Cassandra McDonald, Chris Rippey, Jocelyn Ray, Josh Gentry, J.R. Zambrano, Lloyd Guyan, Lydia Van Hoy, Melanie Black, Mike Myler, Minerva McJanda, Morrigan Robbins, Paul Hughes, Peter Coffey, Peter N. Martin, Rich Lescoflair, Robin Nix, Russ Morrissey, Ryan Knock, Sarah Brayfogle, Sarah Madsen, Savannah Broadway, Sen HHS, Shane Stacks, Thiago Rosa, Will Gond, William Fisher, Willie Abiel.
We knew one of those people.
I got my copies of Level Up today, and I am one of those people.
You are, in fact, one of
Very
those
nice.
people. And
I am thrilled.
I am excited.
As you should be.
Grant, you had a thing.
Yeah, so in lieu of a reading or something like that, I had a little bit of game advice for everybody. Something that a friend of mine did a year or two ago with one of the games that they ran. I think it was Space Worm vs. Moonicorn. I have since taken up doing, and it's making a Pinterest board for a character or for a game. Just throwing ideas and images kind of into one place. Pinterest works well for images, and just having those as reference material. And it works well if you need like NPC images for your game, but also if it's like, oh yeah, this is what my character maybe looks like, maybe this, maybe they dress like this one day, maybe they like this another. Because one thing we don't do enough of in a lot of our games is change appearances, possibly due to the influence of miniatures and somebody commissioning character art. Well, that's what they look like. It's more fun if,
All the
change
time,
clothes.
every day.
Yeah, it's,
Their hair
let
never
them be
changes.
multiple people, multiple appearances, that kind of thing. But it's a useful thing that I've started doing, throwing together ideas, because I don't know my character yet. Nobody knows my character yet. You guys don't know your characters yet, not the way we will at the end of the campaign. So a little bit of personality here, a little bit of inspiration from there, and it all kind of eventually comes together. So it works out well. I've got a bunch of Dragonborn pictures in mind, and one reference picture for one of their really annoying character traits.
I am intrigued. Ben.
The long-awaited rains have fallen hard upon the thirsty ground and carved their way to where the wild and rushing river can be found. And like the rains, I have been carried here to where the river flows. My heart is racing and my knees are weak. As I walk to the edge, I know there is no turning back. Once my feet have left the ledge and in the rush, I hear a voice that's telling me it's time to take the leap of faith. So here I go.
Oh, I know that one.
I'm assuming we all, in the back of our heads, know this one.
I've got nothing.
I'm diving.
I changed the
going
cadence,
deep.
but it's Dive. Stephen Curtis Chapman
That's fantastic.
in honor of the new Rescue Rangers movie
I don't know the last time I
He-
heard that song.
because he plays Baloo,
Mhm.
and it was a weird, shocking moment in my head when I saw that in the credit roll.
It is not the first time he's done it, though. He's been playing Baloo since the 90s.
Right, why I didn't know that I don't know, but
It's not common knowledge. I think he just really likes Disney.
You love to
I
see
think
it.
He mainly started it during a music-based video game where he was the singing voice for Baloo in that game. And then he just became Baloo after that.
I'm not
nice.
mad at that.
Except that one time it was Bill Murray.
Which they didn't hint at, which I feel sad for.
Was he still the singing voice when it was? That's not important. Never mind. Daniel, go. Ran short on time. Daniel, go.
Yeah, so I was at Command Fest Richmond this past weekend, and I'm going to read out the commander that I drafted for Commander's, the Baldur's Gate set. So I drafted Minthara, Merciless Soul, 2, a white and a black for legendary creature elf cleric. She is a 2/2, and she has Ward X, where X is the number of experience counters you have. And at the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, you get an experience counter. Creatures you control get +1/+0 for each experience counter you have. She was absolutely bananas.
That seems sweet.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Did you have a background?
No, because 2-color commanders don't let you pick a background. I put some of the enchantments in my deck, though. I got one that gives a attacking Commander's double strike.
Nice. Very nice. Shaneen.
Plain touched, deep born. Born as the generations after the final wave of deep walkers is driven with their leader back underground in a battle almost a half century ago. The original generation was born of deep walkers and their allies, have become interspersed throughout the plane as a whole. By now, some 500 years later, are generally accepted as a part of the overall planar populace. No deep walkers have been seen since this time.
And I muted myself and shouldn't have. There we go. Very nice. I know that. I wrote that. It caught me off guard when you started reading that. Greg, go ahead.
Most superhero pseudonyms are intended to be understood metaphorically. Iron Man isn't really a man of iron, Green Lantern isn't a piece of verdant camping equipment, and by and large, the Beast is in fact a lovely fellow. When it comes to superheroes whose names can be taken literally, or better yet, at face value, there's no more outstanding example than the Eye. An actual, living, speaking, crime-fighting, disembodied, floating giant eyeball. The Eye was a mysterious presence that loomed ominously in the pages of Keen Detective Funnies, a book that also offered more quantum fare, such as Dean Denton, the scientific detective, Dan Dennis, FBI, and Sparko Larry, Radio Newshawk.
Thanks, I hate it.
I don't like it.
I don't know how I feel about
I remember that.
a giant sentient
Oh,
super eye.
should have been looking out for that one.
Looking out
I
for it.
Didn't
Good.
even blink.
Surprised they didn't take up a career in espionage. We've been a really good eye spy.
Well, there's actually some really darn good heroes in here. Peacemaker makes an appearance in this book of regrettable superheroes.
I bet.
Well, you can't see him, so it's fine. Andrea. your
Oh,
turn. Yeah, there we go. Someone got
That
it
one took-
eventually.
I got it.
Hey. Victory's mine. I made Daniel fall over. Love to see it happen. All right, Andrea, go ahead.
Taraxacum is a large genus of flowering plants which consists of species commonly known as dandelions. The scientific and hobby study of the genus is known as terraphology. The genus is native to Eurasia and North America, but the two most commonplace species, which are names I cannot pronounce, were introduced into North America from Europe and now propagate as wildflowers. Both species are edible in their entirety. The common name dandelion, from the French dent de lion, meaning lion's tooth, is also given to specific members of the genus.
I will say, I never don't learn something during sound check, and you love to see it. Plus, that made dandelion sound cooler than they do when you just say dandelion and I look in my front yard and I'm sad. So, improvement. I like to see it. Okay.
I mean, they are edible. That is a cool thing.
That is not nothing. I don't know how my allergies are going to feel about that concept, but it is not nothing. So,
Think of it as taking revenge.
or is it like preventative? Like if I eat enough of them, I won't be allergic anymore.
If you did small amounts, it could create a
Is it like how allergy shots
inverse
work?
reaction. Yeah.
Oh, that's going to end badly. Okay.
You can
Keep
also,
the EpiPen handy.
I mean, it takes a ton of them, but you can extract the latex from their roots if you need to.
There's latex in dandelion roots?
Yep, that's what they use to protect against insect feeding.
Like I said, I never don't learn something
Today I
during
learned.
sound check. It's just a part of the process. We're providing a service. An educational one, I guess. Because I always learn something. Okay. Make sure you guys can move the littler versions of yourselves that are on that page, please. And if you cannot move the littler version of yourself, why do I keep saying that? The smaller version of yourself, let me know.